Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me see. Good morning to Dr. Soapy. Good morning to Hypnotic Touch Touch. Thank you, Dr. Soapy, for contributing to my goals. Y'all, I did set a goal this morning, but all donations are welcome. Remember, I said that I was going to go 1 week without setting my goals. So at first I was like, well, I could set my goal for this morning, but then I said, well, no, I'm going to wait. Hey, Room Shaker. Good morning. Good morning, V8 Sagittarius. Good morning to Bay Forever. Good morning to everybody. Okay. Y'all, maybe I need to drink some of my water. My throat feels scratchy. Y'all, I told y'all, sometimes in the morning I sound like a man. This is my man voice, y'all. Do y'all find it sexy? Good morning. Okay. So, y'all, it's been a minute since I talked to y'all. I know that y'all probably missed me. I came and talked to y'all, I believe it was on Monday. And hey to Samba Queen. I think it was Monday the last time I talked to y'all, and I was supposed to come back to talk to y'all again on Wednesday, but I decided against it. But y'all, the one thing that I will tell y'all on Wednesday morning, I did happen to wake up and I peeked up in there over at Lemons, and y'all, I was actually in there in real time when he had turned the camera on. I was there in real time. And one thing that I've noticed about the beef sector audience while I just been sitting back observing everything, it's yes, y'all are fickle. But why is it that y'all be so quick to call a woman ugly, but y'all can't call a man ugly? Oh, wait. Why in the hell y'all be so quick to point out a woman's flaws? But a lot of y'all done pussyfoot around these flaws that we saw on Lemon's face. I wonder if Lemon had just told the beef sector that he was legally blind. I wonder if he had told them that, if people would accept this more. Like, then he could explain having on the sunglasses. Like, I think if I had eyes like him, I would have just came out the gate and said, hey, I'm legally blind, y'all. This is why I wear sunglasses all the time. And let that be that. But instead, he hid his eyes. He went on vacation last year and hid his eyes the entire time. But something is wrong with his eyes. Something is. And I know I done heard of y'all talk crazy about Uppity daughter's eyes more than y'all have Lemons. I don't know if y'all feel like y'all might hurt his feelings or something. What's going on? What's going on? I will say though, whenever I saw his eyes, the main thing that I thought about is dogs, because dogs, they eyes leak. And if you have a dog, you know that you have to clean their eyes, like with a paper towel, a cloth, toilet paper, something. You got to clean out their eyes, because when they go to sleep, their eyes leak. And that's what it looked like happening with Lemon. I done heard a lot of people try to give commentary about what's going on with his eyes. Do y'all remember in the 90s when Bill Cosby used to have those pudding commercials, the Jello pudding? And he used to be like, the Jello pudding, the pudding pop, the Jello pudding. And he used to put his eyes, he roll his eyes like that. When I saw Lemon's eyes, that's what I thought about those commercials. It's unfortunate that you have Jello pudding pop eyes just when you're just trying to look at people. And then about the tooth, I don't get how all of them people had went to Vegas with him and nobody noticed it. Like, how in the hell you was in Vegas with somebody for 3, 4 days and y'all was eating together at the restaurants and stuff and you didn't notice that? I know they said that he had put a cap or something in place of where the tooth was gone, but can you even eat with a cap in? I ain't never had no cap. I ain't never had a fake one either. But can you even eat food like that? It's just a lot about it that don't make sense. Then I saw people trying to roast him. Said that his breath was stank. But again, y'all was in Vegas with him the entire time and he had the same teeth. So if you didn't smell his breath back then why y'all trying to say his breath stank now? I heard the Billy Goat over there trying to roast him about his breath. And I'm like, but y'all was up in his face. What's good, Hammer Time Funk? How you doing? Good morning. I was like, y'all was up in his face. Y'all was talking to him. Y'all was up in the Ubers together and all types of stuff. Now y'all want to say the man breath stank because y'all saw the tooth. But I just wish y'all would be quick to tell these men that they ugly. Because just tell them. The main thing that I noticed too on Wednesday was that on the multiple panels that I witnessed Lemon be on, I noticed him trying to bribe the women by trying to buy them alcoholic beverages, that cut water and stuff like that. He was trying to bribe them. And I'm like, of all the times you never offered to give these women money to get a drink or to get a crab leg or to get this, that, and the third at all. But now that they saw how you look, the same day that everybody saw how you look, now you ready to buy something for everybody. It made me feel like he was offering to buy these women drinks and giving them cash apps to pay them into secrecy not to talk about him. Cause what I noticed was when he sent them that cash app, then they didn't talk about him. Like they let him make it with that eye and with the tooth. Somebody was saying to look on the other side of his mouth, but I don't know if you can, but you can always tell something about a person if when they smile, they always trying to cover their mouth or cover their face, or they always smiling with their lips closed. I have noticed that for a very long time. Even with women, if I'm looking at a girl's pictures and all of her pictures show her smiling without showing her teeth, I find that highly suspicious. Like something's wrong with your mouth. What's wrong? Something's wrong with your mouth. Why you can't smile showing your teeth? And that seemed like what Lemon been doing all this time. I'll be glad when y'all be honest and actually call him a catfish, because wouldn't it be a catfish what he is? And that would be a catfish, um, literally and figuratively. Because he do kind of look like a catfish by the face. Catfish have teeth like that. I hope y'all know. But yes. So I saw everybody talk about that. I saw it seemed like Lemon was trying to pay everybody not to talk about it. Um, I just peeked in over there at Lemon's this morning and Crystal was on the panel. It looked like Lemon and Tracy. I guess Lemon and Tracy fell asleep on the panel and left Crystal there running the show. I'll be so glad when they stop doing this fake mess. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I lost interest. I've lost interest because I don't like all the fake stuff that's just going on and it's blatantly fake. And it's just not something that I could really get that interested in. This week, primarily, I was catching up on Big Brother and everything. Which don't forget tomorrow we will have our Big Brother show, me and DC. on my Dunn Daughter channel at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just a quick promo for myself. I'm sure that all of y'all saw my professional production that I released. I had saw that I had one hater, Bertha Mae Jackson. I'd be glad when Bertha Mae find her something else to do. Cause she still ain't came out here and dragged fates and the whole 7 days done went by. Bertha Mae, before you try to judge my professional production, you need to get out here and do whatever you said you was gonna do to fates, girl. It's giving punk. It's giving pussy. It's giving scared. It's giving you was trying to set up a play. Let me see. Oh, one thing that I did notice this week as well. Ain't it funny how just last week it was all these documentaries trying to trigger up and conjure up my past? Trying to conjure up my past only for it to have a ripple effect and actually backfire. And now where the Billy Goat was trying to conjure up my past with all these fraudulent and fake productions. Nah, look whose past done came and got conjured up. Look who's. Heedy is back. Heedy is back. Going from panel to panel to panel and platform to platform. Conjuring up that relationship. I said, now look at God. I said, now that's some real return to sender right there. That's some real return to sender. Just last week, it was a kiki and a cuckoo. All of this when this motherfucker was doing all these productions trying to bring up old shit from 6, 7 years ago. But now I'm watching y'all bitch and complain because something happened 2 years ago. No, no. I don't care if it was 2 years ago. If he could bring up shit from 6, 7 years ago, then we want to hear about the shit from 2 years ago. I'm just saying. Wouldn't y'all agree? Wouldn't y'all agree that we still want to hear the same stories from 2 years ago? Wouldn't y'all agree? Ain't no way. No way that anybody need to be trying to distance themselves from it. Oh, Heidi don't need to be talking about it. That was from 2 years ago. Oh, she's still telling the same story. Where is the new information? She ain't said nothing new. All she gonna do is lie. Look, I've been listening to what Heidi got to say. I still don't like her, but I've been listening. I tuned into Brian's and I saw that interesting conversation between Heidi and Brian, where they were really breaking down a few different things that had went on in the past and over the 2 years. You know, if you could discuss shit from 2018, 2019, we could discuss shit from 2023. You heard me? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I had to plug up my laptop. Hold on, let me make sure because I don't want it to die. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Okay, so it's plugged up. But yeah, I saw a very interesting discussion over there between Heidi and Brian. So Brian had invited Heidi over there. I guess they were supposed to be talking and reconciling with each other, going over their past differences, apologizing for the wrongdoing. Good morning, Elaine. Good morning, everybody. Apologizing for the wrongdoing. And in the process of Heidi and Brian having this conversation, Brian allowed Heidi to conjure up the past from 2 years ago. I said, go on, Brian, with your messy self. Go ahead and let her talk about it. I'm listening. I'm trying to figure out what that happened. Y'all, we found out a couple of new things according to Heidi. But again, I'm being very cordial right now. Or not, I wouldn't say cordial. I'm just not bothering this, but I have to cover what I saw happen. But I'm just gonna try to limit saying Ness's name, even though he'd been talking about Ness. I'm gonna try not to say Ness's name, y'all. That's the least that I could do to keep my end of the bargain. Cause she been trying to leave me alone, so I'm gonna try to do the same thing. But I gotta cover what happened. Got to. So Heidi was over there with Brian, and so they was just talking about the past and things. Ness got upset that Heidi was over there and that Brian let Heidi and Uppity talk about her and talk about her parenting and stuff. So Ness uninvited Brian to the Nestcation. Brian almost was like at the brink of tears and did a video that was like an hour and a half. I listened to that video yesterday morning while I was getting ready. And Brian was very, he was repeating over and over again how much he really wanted to go to the Nestcation. He didn't like being uninvited. He said that's not fair to him. He said he should be able to talk to and have anybody that he wants on his platform. He said that he didn't understand why he was being done that way. Brian puts me in the mind of a person who wants to have their cake and eat it too. He wants to have his cake and he want to eat the cake. You can't do both. Everybody who has been around here know damn well that with the contention between them two, that that wasn't gonna slide and he was gonna be able to go to the next case. He should have knew that. He done been around. He should have known that. But what I thought was very clever that I witnessed him do, and I'm wondering if y'all witnessed it as well, is just as quickly as they fell out, they had Brian did a live yesterday during the day and well during the morning rather. And there was this reconciliation panel with him and Ness, and they were able to talk through their differences. And Brian changed and turned just like the wind. In the course of 24 hours, Brian flipped all because he want to go to the next case. But this is the part that I would still be suspicious about. He said he is not going to talk to Heidi no more until after the next case. Well, that makes it evidently clear that he is going to talk to her. All he is saying is that he's just going to postpone it to keep the peace. Would you feel comfortable with that? Good morning, Silky. Would you feel comfortable with that? Good morning, Raytrix. Thank you, Raytrix, moderator. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. I mean, essentially, what Brian is saying, y'all, is that he just gonna hold off on his friendship with he or whatever it is that they trying to do until after the next case so that he could do both. But if there is a genuine concern about Brian being sent, then whatever Brian plans to do, he can still do. And he could just give it all to he after the next case. I was like, you okay with this type of bargaining? that he just need to postpone or put off his communication with her until after. So that means if he want to take some pictures of y'all asses and then give it to her so that she could put it on Bobby Brown head. Y'all saw he did that video, every little step I take, and putting and putting this picture on Bobby Brown head. I mean, he putting his head and face on Bobby Brown's body, and then they was dancing in the video. I was like, well, Brian could still just be taking pictures and collect the information, and he can just hold on to the pictures and collect the information and give it to her after. Like, it's a few things about it that just don't seem safe to me. But y'all, it's better them than me. It's like the ditch that you try to dig for somebody else, you dig for yourself. Trying to conjure up my past, and you end up conjuring up your own past. And your past done haunted you for the last 48 hours. Y'all. But yeah, if Brian wanted to do some snake shit, he could still do it. Then it got me to thinking, well, is she scared that somebody is just gonna do something to ruin her trip on purpose? Because that could still happen. The same reason that she uninvite Brian would be the same reason why I probably would not be comfortable with him going if I were in those shoes. What would y'all do? What would y'all do? Would y'all trust Brian? Would y'all trust Brian after Brian said to your face that, oh, he's still gonna be friends with your ex, but he just won't talk to her until after your vacation? How would y'all feel? So essentially, Brian said, look, I ain't gonna talk to her, have up on my panel no more. I'm gonna stop talking to her until Halloween so that I could let you have your way momentarily. And then by the time Thanksgiving come around, we gonna be talking again. She gonna be on my panel and she could tell stories about you. You understand? I don't see how that was a win-win. And I'm like, that don't look like a win-win to me. That look like somebody appeasing your feelings for the time being. That's what that look like. That look like somebody taking a pacifier and sticking it up in your mouth for the next 3 months so that you can have it pacified. But then after the 3 months, they're going to go and do whatever they want to do. When Brian was over there talking about being uninvited to the next cation, though, y'all, is it just me or did y'all hear him actually complaining about the potential sex capades that he could have had that he ain't gonna get to have? I could have swore he said something about sucking somebody dick, y'all. I ain't even lying. I think he said something about sucking the billy goat dick. So I honestly think that he really only want to go to the next cation because he trying to suck a dick. I will say that the last time I did commentary on Brian, y'all, he was sick and in the hospital. So I'm happy that he is well. But I think his mind is in the wrong place to be going to the vacation to suck dick when he don't even know who got um the 3 letters. He don't know who got anything over there, but that's what he said. That's what he said. The one thing that I do find interesting is that last year when the Vegas trip was coming up, it sounded like a bunch of orgies was about to happen. And the way Brown was talking about what he planned to do for this next case, it sounded like some orgies. Like you you want to meet up with the Billy Goat. Because why? Y'all. And then I think he said, who else he said that he wanted to meet? I think I don't think he wanted to meet Honest Row. No, not Honest Row. St. James. I didn't even know St. James was going. But Brown was over there talking about how I want to meet St. James. I want to meet. Brian want to meet a lot of people, and it's like the way he was talking about meeting these people, it's like they were celebrities. I'm like, the way Brian talk about it, you would think that he going to the Beyonce concert. The way Brian is talking about it, you would think that he got a front row seat. And I'm thinking to myself, Brian, he kept saying, I really wanted to meet Ness. Brian, it's just Ness. It's just Ness. I, I really just wanted to attend my first YouTube event. I wanted to go to the event and see how it was gonna be. Lord. Mm. It sounds like a shit show if you ask me. But I still say that it's tricky business. And if I was in this shoes, I wouldn't go for this because y'all, the next cation is gonna be in Seattle. That's where Ness live. That's where Ness live. So if Brian want to be getting some information to give to Heat later on, that can be possible. Pictures, new address, what type of car you drive. I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. But then, even with me saying that I wouldn't trust it, how in the world do you go about something like that? Would you then have to say, well, Brian, you can talk to her never in your life? You can never talk to Heat a day in your life? Or would you just have to cut ties with Brian? Because either way, Brian is letting it be known that he not cutting ties with Heat. He not going to cut ties with Heat. He just going to postpone it momentarily. Good morning, Empress. Ray Triggs, not a Seattle suck off. That's a good name for it. I might have to start calling it that, the Seattle suck off. Ray Triggs, look at you. Now I know you did a good job on my intro, but that was creative right there. The Seattle suck off. Okay, okay. But yeah, that's what Brian was really talking about the people that he want to meet and how he did. He said he want to suck some dicks over there. I'm like, who in the hell will wake up and want to plan that vacation to do all that? But I don't know if Brian bought his ticket for the vacation or not. But I do know that he seemed to be really hurt and bent out of shape in a big way when he thought he was uninvited. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't never seen nothing like it. But then it remind me too of like that Vegas trip last year where people was getting uninvited. Remember for that Vegas trip last year, they uninvited Brooke. They always uninviting somebody. Cause Brooke was supposed to be at the Vegas, but then remember that was when the baby was fake and they uninvited Brooke. Then this year they don't uninvite Brian, but then now Brian get to come back. I wonder if Brian get to bring a plus one. Do y'all know if they get to bring a plus one? What if they get to bring a plus one and his plus one be Heat? Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, that'll be epic. I wonder if they get to bring a plus one. Child, now see that right there would be that beef sector mess that cause the biggest buzz. If some kind of way, because Brian gonna talk to her after the uh the Seattle suck off. If Brian end up getting the entire itinerary to Heat. Mm-mm-mm. Brian, if you're listening, I'm just I'm just telling you this. I'm just telling you. But I think it would be quite legendary if Brian was able to get the entire itinerary where they was gonna go, all of this stuff to Heat, and Heat showed up. Y'all remember Heat said that she only 2 hours away. She said she only 2 hours away by plane, y'all. By plane. Oh my goodness. It reminded me of when Sean Bradley and them had their Vegas trip and then they had uninvited Kwani, but Kwani still went. Kwani still went. Kwani was like, "You wouldn't invite me, I'm still going." But Kwani and her husband still went. They were still up in their hotel and stuff. That's why I didn't know why Brian was doing all that whining on his platform. Because I'm like, well, Brian, if you already paid for your hotel and your plane ticket, you better take your ass on. But then Brian said he had family there, but he said he ain't going to see his family. I think it's funny. I ain't never heard Brian talk about going to Seattle ever a day up in his life. I ain't never even heard him talk about family in Seattle, but now he got family though. Why is it that when people want to go somewhere, they always quick to say they got family though? I wouldn't even tell that lie. I ain't got no family up in no damn Seattle. They say it ain't number white people there anyway. I don't even know what y'all supposed to be doing for Halloween with all them white people. I would say though, if I ever had like a destination vacation that I ever would want to take for the Halloween season, one thing that I do have on my bucket list is to go to Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween. I already lived in New Orleans for almost 5 years, so I'd have been in New Orleans for Halloween, which is it's a good time. But Salem, Massachusetts, where they had the Salem witch trials, I would love to go and explore Salem for the Halloween holiday. I think it would be amazing. But I don't know nothing that done happen up in Seattle that'll make Seattle worth going to for Halloween. But Brian wanna go. He wanna go, y'all. But yeah, if he passed off all the information, like where they gonna be, what restaurant they're gonna eat at, the Airbnb, all of that. If he passed all that to Heat, that'll be funny. And then we will have some action. It would be some action going on. Just imagine if Brian did this covert mission and got the information to pass it to Heat, and then Heat and China White was able to show up. I was about to say Heat, China White, and Uppity, but Uppity ain't gonna show up. She's scared to fly. Which Uppity is just something else, y'all. The last couple of days when I did peek in, Uppity was drunk as a skunk. She had her camera on, y'all. She was gyrating up in a pink dress with no underwear on. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, people really be doing the most. It's sometimes, I ain't even gonna lie, when I peek into the beef sector and peek into the madness that's going on, why I honestly have to ask myself, why do you watch this? Why do you watch this? Tracy, you woke up. Tracy, I thought you was over there asleep at Lemons. I thought I saw you over there asleep at Lemon Panel. You done finally woke up. I peeked over there at Lemon Panel, and the only person I heard talking was Krista. I don't heard nobody else talking over there. That's why I was like, you must sleep. Good morning, Miami Popo. Good morning, Tracy. Tracy said, yes, she was asleep. I figured that because I'm like, why in the hell is Tracy up here and ain't said a word? Hopefully you got some good rest, Tracy. I was talking about Brian getting uninvited to the Nestcation. About Brian getting uninvited, but if Brian could still be a double agent. That's all I was talking about. Y'all, this is pretty much a very, very low key live because, like I said, when I peeked in and saw Uppity doing this dancing and the gyrating, and then I saw her and Chat Rep turning on their cameras, comparing legs and stuff. Y'all, I just didn't have time. I couldn't entertain it. Why you say Paul Bryan, Tracy? I'm running the muck room shaker now. No. Oh yeah, I was over there at Shamar's for a little bit with room shaker and cooling. Which it was pretty good being over there with them. But I couldn't even hang out with them like I truly wanted to because I knew I had to go to sleep in order to be up here awake early to come over here. Well, Tracy, he got uninvited, but it looked like they made amends. Brian did a live yesterday, Tracy, where it looked like they were able to talk it out and make amends, and now it looks like he is now still invited to go. But what I was speculating, Tracy, is Brian said that he will not talk to Heat until after the vacation. But my point is, if he gonna talk to her after the vacation, then why can't he talk to her before the vacation? If he's still gonna have the line of communication with her after the fact, like what was the point in all of this? Because the main thing is what I was saying, Tracy, is he could, if he wanted to take pictures and email them to he could still do it. He could still take pictures and email them to he, take videos, secret videos. He can still get the itinerary for where they're going to be on the trip, what hotel or what Airbnb they're going to be at, what they're going to be doing, and he could still send all that to he. Like I think whatever she was fearful of initially, that don't change just because Brian decided to postpone or halt the communication for the time being. So I was just thinking about that and wondering if I would trust it if I was in Brian if I were in their shoes, if I would trust it. And I don't know that I would. Miami Popo, that's what I was over here talking about Heat potentially showing up. Because y'all remember Heat said it's only 2 hours away. 2 hours away by plane. Now, I heard Olivia did a live. I didn't watch it. I was watching YouTube cameras yesterday. She had a whole bunch of fighting over there. I think it was the man Donald Goins had got up there to drag Lemon. I'll be glad when y'all just tell Lemon that he ugly. I still hear people lying talking about he handsome and stuff, and I'm like, what? I want y'all to drag Lemon teeth the way that y'all drag Uppity. That's what I want. How y'all drag uppity teeth all the time? How y'all used to drag my teeth? Thank the Lord for my dentist. I almost wanted to reach out to Lemon to see if he need the information to my dentist. Lord, but I don't know. Like, do y'all think they could put an implant up in there with that tooth gone? Just an implant could probably just go right up in there. Hmm. Oh, about Jay Wilson. Y'all, Jay Wilson had cut all his facial hair off. He cut all his facial hair off, y'all. I don't know why. I don't know what he was thinking. The last person on YouTube that I saw that did that was Troy Allen. But Troy did that like several months ago. But Troy did his video and he said why he cut his face like that. He said he cut all of his hair off because I think he was doing some type of new contract. Cause y'all know Troy's he owns his own business. And I think he had to go to get a new contract for his business. And I think you had to be like clean shaven and clean cut like that for the I guess the interview process or maybe the meeting process. So he said why he did it. Now his facial hair done grew back. But he said why he did it. But I'm like, well, Jay Wilson, why you do it? Miami Popo said Lemon's eyes so bad when he cries, it runs down his back. Y'all, I just don't understand how stuff was coming out of his eye, just coming out of his eye. That's nasty. Like, how in the hell you trying to be sexy and you just got this stuff coming out your eye? What Yolanda said, he spent his 3K on party payouts instead of a dental implant. Remember, y'all, though, it was just last year he was saying he had 13K, 14K in his cash out. The one tooth implant that he need, it don't cost that much. It don't cost that much at all. But too many of y'all been telling that man that he is so sexy and attractive. And y'all, I like Krista. But when I peeked up in there and saw them up on that panel and then Tracy right there with them, I was like, this fake. Y'all, I think that's another reason why I don't tune in to Lemon like that, because I just can't with the fake. And it's like, I wonder, do I feel like it's fake just because I feel like them two can't have a relationship? I feel like it's fake because I don't believe that they have a relationship. But I also feel like it's fake because I remember being cool with Lemon the last time that they went in the relationship last fall. And it was a lot of things about it that was fake. I mean, what really is the point in getting into these internet entanglement or online entanglement if you never have plans to meet the person? Then wouldn't it just be just to be fake? Tracy said it's not fake. It seemed fake. Tracy, even with Pizarro and Brianna with their bestie thing, even with this whole bestie mess, they eventually met up. They didn't make content out of it, but they did eventually meet up. But even with them calling each other bestie, when they first started calling each other bestie, y'all, for easily the first year or so, I thought that was fake too. I was like, how in the hell you gonna get on the internet and make somebody your best friend? And now that's your bestie this and bestie that and bestie this and bestie that. But then once they met up, then I was like, okay. And then once they actually exchanged numbers, I was like, okay, well, this might be real. But I don't know that I could just follow along with Krista and Lemon and think this is real. And just the fact that Krista done seen him on Discord with that eye and that tooth, the fact that Sour Patch done seen him on Discord with that eye and that tooth, and they was okay with that. I'm like, oh my goodness. Hey, Dreamy Genie Blue. Oh, let me see what Yolanda said. She said, girl, I clicked in there and Crystal was just yapping. Yeah, I looked up in there too and she was. And I'm like, why is she the only person talking? I don't believe it's real either. He talked too bad about fat women to like it. And he did say that he only tolerates her. A nigga with no teeth and a swirling eye could never call me out my name. Y'all, you know something? When I saw them pictures of him floating around, every insult that he done ever tried to call me totally just flashed before my eyes and through my mind. And that was my thought. Like, I know the motherfucker, not you looking like this. Y'all remember how Aunt Esther used to call Fred Sanford a fish-eyed fool? When I saw the picture, I was like, this fish-eyed fool, I know this fish-eyed fool wasn't trying to talk about everybody else. Talking about fat people. But then I'm like, how in the hell you get your eye like that? Do anybody know? Do anybody know how you get your eye like that? Like at least I think with Wiley with his eye, it comes from whatever his condition is that he was born with. Though Wiley was born with a condition. I'm like, how in the hell Lemon got an eye like that? And how in the hell he over there saying that he camped up to them up in Discord all them times and ain't nobody told him about how he looked? The only thing that I could think is that he must have had that grills in and his damn sunglasses on when he was coming up in Discord. Cause I just don't understand how people cause I don't understand how people ain't told him. And he was over there talking about Brianna Man, talking about Mr. Pettyville that last time. Looking like that. Dreamy. I don't know what was coming out of his eye. It was leaking though. I did see his eye leaking. Um, the eye is leaking, and like I said, it reminds me of a dog's eye. You know how dogs their eyes be leaking, and you gotta keep their eyes washed. Otherwise, they'll get the little crud in the corner of their eye. So you gotta wash it. And I think that's what he gotta do. But it make me wonder if that's the reason why he's still living with his mama, y'all. Do y'all think that that's considered like a handicap? Because if we were to find out that whatever is going on with his eyes is considered a handicap, like if he can't see or something, then that might explain why he lived with his mama. That might explain why too he live up in that housing, that whatever that is over there at that apartments that he live in. If we found out that it was a handicap, then okay, could everybody let Lemon make it now for living with his mama because he handicapped? But y'all, so far we done heard his mom in the background. So far we done heard his mom in the background tell him to pick dog shit up off the carpet. Then his mama was telling him to vacuum up her carpet. Why his mom always gotta tell him to do his chores? Y'all, I was looking at Diva Tomboyish Wall and it looked like he 35. 35 living with your mama. Your mama got to remind you to do the chores around the house. You ain't got no job, so you stay on YouTube and on Discord 24/7. He got to have a disability, y'all. Got to. But I remember a couple of times where Lemon tried to drag Wiley. And it's like, how in the world was Lemon dragging Wiley with his eye like that? You think he get a check, Ray Triggs? Yeah. Well, that's one thing. Demon Soul had said that she had looked into them apartments over there where he lived. And that's what she was saying that apartments, they do have some type of like transitional living or something that do with social work, where a social worker got to get you on a list or something to get in there. Oh, y'all, I just thought of something else. Do y'all think that's why he kept falling all over the place? Remember, Nesnell kept saying that he would just trip and fall randomly. Cause he can't see, y'all. Cause he can't see. Meanwhile, we all was thinking that he trip and fall because he drunk. But maybe he tripping and falling because he really can't see. Y'all, it might really be a handicap. And that's why he gotta live with his mama. His mama gotta hold his hand. But why he bragging about having two cars? That's another thing. With eyes like that, do you want somebody with eyes like lemons to be driving? Do you? Do you think it's safe? Hey, Flying Low. Good morning, everybody. Do you think it's safe for anybody with them type of eyes to be on the road? And do you want them on the road with you? And do you want them on the road with you? And do you want them on the road potentially driving drunk with eyes like that? You can't even tell which line he looking in. Where you looking at? Like where in the hell is you looking? Yeah, I would be so scared. That's mortifying. Mm-mm-mm. He said he got two cars. Now, the next time y'all hear him brag about them two cars, I think the next question, if anybody is on the panel with him, is with the two cars that he got, does he have a handicap placard in either one of them? Be like, when you go to Walmart, do you get to park in the front? You get to park in the handicap? Y'all know that's why they can't stand for me to be on the damn panels because I would have been asked them. Once them eyes came out, oh, please like my video, y'all. Once them eyes came out, I would have definitely had got up there and asked. Good morning, DC moderator. And thank you, Asia, for being the light. Hey, you gotta chill. Y'all, that's the reason why I had Skip coming to y'all on Wednesday. I skipped coming to y'all on Wednesday because the last time that I had came, y'all was acting funny with the likes. And I told y'all, I said, well, I ain't gonna wake up early and come here for no if y'all ain't gonna like the video. So that's why I ain't come on Wednesday. But I didn't mind sleeping in either. I needed that rest. Then yesterday I was up super duper duper early. Please like my video. I was up super early, y'all, because I'm trying to get the stuff. I'm talking about lemon car. I'm getting stuff taken care of with my own car. And that's why I was up early yesterday morning. But yeah, somebody needs to ask him if he got the handicap placard. Because that's gonna say it all. That's truly gonna say it all. Hmm. That's unfortunate. I got quiet because I was just thinking, how would I feel if I had to wear sunglasses like that forever, or like to hide my eyes? That's got to be sad. But then always ready to do meet and greets and stuff. Good morning, Miss Douglas. Ray Trigg said it's ironic, not ironic. Oh, this could go so many different ways, Ray Triggs, because you put ironic, but you probably should have spelled run RUN. Cause that I be running. Ironic RUN. But yeah. I wonder though if he do have to like have like a handkerchief or something. Now I want to know from the Vegas people. I'm gonna have to ask Honest Rowe if he had to. What's good? Rita, babe. Hey, Lynn T. Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you, Lynn T. I wonder if he had to wipe his eyes all the time. If they noticed him wiping his eyes all the time. Then I saw somebody had posted the picture, was analyzing his picture, and was talking about his chin. Y'all, they was just giving Lemon the business. But I just can't believe that of all things be the one that be cussing people out and talking crazy to people. And y'all, what about Sour Patch? Y'all, they say Sour Patch been getting around in the Discord, and I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. I wonder if Rick Reed know what Sour Patch been out here doing. I wonder if Rick Reed know. Like, Rick Reed, do you know that this woman been getting around all up in the Discord and showing her puss? And it looked like she got a thing for the handicap, because if Lemon is actually handicapped over there living with his mama, and then she over there showing her puss to big man, that she definitely got a type. But sound like to me that she got a type of somebody that's gonna get a check. Which I wouldn't put it past Sour Patch to be really going for big men and going for Lemon because she think they get a check. She trying to get an extra check for her family. Trying to get a damn extra check in so that her daddy don't have to go stand in front of the Home Depot or the Lowe's this morning. Which, imagine that. You know, Sour Patch family members, they already, the men in the family already getting up to go to go stand out there this morning. They probably already out there right. They probably already out there right now. And I'm pretty sure she said to keep them from having to keep going out there every morning to stand out in the front. She trying to get her one of these handicapped men on here, the handicapped men on here that get a check. Oh, Mary Williams. Let me see what she said. Well, Big Man said it was real, and they said Big Man was over there exposing her, but I missed that live. But they said he was exposing like messages and all types of stuff over there. They say he was exposing messages, and he ended up getting into it with the main witch. The main witch ended up getting mad at him, so something happened. I don't know. Something happened. The main witch kicked him out of her Discord. It was just a lie. I'm like, Big Man, you was in the main witch Discord. But Mary said he probably have a lazy eye, play running water. His eyes don't look that bad to me. Oh, it looked bad to me, Mary. It looked bad to me. Would you want eyes like that? Lynn T said the real gag is that they allow him to talk to them like that. I would cuss his ass out so bad he would leave me the F alone. Lynn T, I was just actually talking about at the beginning of all of this, I was talking about the Seattle suck off. That's what Ray Tree done called the Seattle suck off. That's coming up for Halloween, and how Brian had got uninvited. I was doing my commentary about that. Birds of a feather flock together. She know her people. Well, beauty is in the art of beholder. Ray Triggs, you and these eye jokes this morning. The You and these eye jokes this morning. Mary must not have 20/20 vision. Y'all, I don't know why Mary said the eyes don't look that bad. Y'all know it got to be dry as hell. Well, we talking about this man eyes, but I mean, hell, he talk about everything about everybody else. Yeah, why we can't talk about his eyes? Yeah. Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get those eyes? How they hypnotize. Where'd you get those eyes? Oh man. Not Lemon over there looking like Jeepers Creepers. Mm-mm. Now I might have to watch that movie this weekend. Oh, Miss Douglas said because you may have some subscribers listening that have visual impairments with their eyes. Well, Miss Douglas, I'm talking about Lemon though. I'm not talking about the subbies that ain't bothering nobody. Do you know how many times Lemon done cussed me out, cuss out people in general, black fat bitches? I mean, hell, just last week he was calling the Miss Soul fat black bitch and a fat black ghost bitch and all this crazy ass stuff to be looking like that. That's what I'm saying, Miss Douglas. I'm not trying to offend the visually impaired subbies. Mm-mm. But what I'm saying is when you have those type of flaws, how in the world, how in the world do you say such crazy things to other people? It's all. Which again, I'm kind of happy that Demon Soul decided not to go to the Seattle suck off. Because I didn't want Demon Soul to get into no mess. Especially Brian. Brian said that he could plan to take pictures while he there. He said. He said he planned to take pictures while he is there. He gonna be taking pictures behind people back and all this. Which I found hilarious that on his platform yesterday he admitted that he would be taking pictures. But remember, Lori almost got backhanded just for having her phone out. And I'm like, so in Vegas, Lori got cussed out just for pulling out her cell phone and people thinking that she was recorded. She got cussed out to the point to where she cried on the party bus. But Brian's saying that he gonna have his phone and he gonna record and take pictures of whatever he want to. And that's okay. I was like, oh. I remember Rebel and Dog Killer News. They said Laurie had cried on that bus because they cussed her out about taking out her phone. But maybe Brian could take out his phone and take pictures because they know not to cuss him out. You don't think he gonna show up? I don't know if he really gonna show up either. I mean, but I can't underestimate Brian. But I just, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Please like my video if you haven't, y'all. I just don't want Brian to only get a one-way ticket and show up and then be stuck there like the Billy Goat and then be on here begging for money, cash apps to get a ticket to get back home. Remember when the Billy Goat did that? Remember the Billy Goat did a one-way ticket to Vegas and then got his ass on here and begged y'all to get him a one-way ticket to get back home. I hope Brian don't pull no stunts like that. But I wouldn't put it past him, y'all. I just wouldn't. These folks is trifling. Trifling. Y'all, please like my video. Thank you. Y'all know the reason why I didn't come on the Wednesday is because y'all didn't like my video. I had to stand firm what I said. When I said if y'all don't give me to these likes, then I ain't coming on Wednesday. I stood firm in it, y'all. Lynn T says Seattle has plenty of homeless camps. He will be fine. So, oh, so you think that Brian might just go to the homeless camp in Seattle? Miss Douglas is saying, I will be waiting for someone's recap. I don't watch or limit, so I'll be listening. You know, Miss Douglas, normally the best recap that you could get is from YouTube cameras. She definitely gonna recap Lemon. If she don't recap nothing else, she gonna tell you about Lemon. I was listening to her yesterday. She be so excited when she be talking. I was listening to YouTube cameras. I'm like, this girl be so excited. She be excited about everything. Y'all, Lynn T said, hell, if he can't get back home, I'm just listing the options for him to be homeless in Seattle. You'll wait for me to get the recap. Miss Douglas, I don't even know what really done happened. I mean, I was tuning in, but then I wasn't. That's kind of how I felt about it this week. Or maybe it just wasn't enough going on. I mean, the most interesting part that I had got out of everything was Heat and Brian. Heat and Brian was the most interesting thing that I saw this week. That dilemma. Heat, because Heat was over there spilling tea about the past and stuff, and mm, then they got into a whole argument with Uppity. There was like legitimately over there on Brian's platform 2 nights ago, there was a legit debate about which one of them is the best mother between Uppity and this. Miss Douglas said, I like who I like, sir. No, I understand. I understand, Miss Douglas. Calm down, calm down. I'm glad that you come over here to see me, though. It's great. I'm happy. You know, I'm happy when y'all come and see me. Please like my video. Thank you. I don't know if y'all can hear the smile in my voice. What I work on whenever I'm on here talking to y'all in the morning is I try to smile while I'm talking so that you can hear the smile in my voice. I feel like if you hear the smile in my voice, then you will have a great and beautiful day today because I'm smiling. And I need Lemon to know that if he go to the dentist, he can smile like this. He can smile like this. Now, Miss Douglas, are you upset because I remember you was telling me not to talk about the eyes, so I'm stop talking about the eyes. But now, what about the missing teeth? Can I talk about the missing teeth, Miss Douglas? Or you don't want me to talk about the missing teeth either? Because I mean, the beef sector been talking about people teeth been missing for years. Hopefully, I'm not offending somebody talking about the missing teeth now. Hopefully, I ain't offending the subbies in that way. But yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's really all I got for y'all because it ain't been that much going on. And this morning I didn't even feel like trying to red ball through anything just to see anything new. I ain't feel like doing it. When I got over there and realized everybody on the panel was asleep except for Krista over there at Lemons, that everybody was asleep, but Krista was the only one talking. I was like, I ain't about to try to red ball through this mess. Yolanda said, no, no, done. No missing, rotten, and broken off. Yeah, that I will say that tooth did look rotten or decayed or something. It did. She was talking to the people in the chat. Lynn T. She when I looked up in there, she was on the panel yelling and fussing at the people up in the chat. So she was talking to the chat full of trolls while they was asleep. Yeah. When I saw that Crystal was just talking and talking and fussing at that chat and talking, I was like, oh no. I said, ain't no way. Now they don't fell asleep up here. I'm like, what y'all was out drinking the cut water? Oh, and she was singing. She was, I don't know. It was just a mess, to say the least. Miss Douglas, I was just asking you if we could talk about his teeth. I was asking you if we could talk about Lemon missing teeth. That's all. What y'all remember? It used to be a troll page called Lemon Crooked Teeth. And now that I think about it, that troll page that was called Lemon Crooked Teeth was probably onto something. Ray Trigg said, I left when she started moaning for it. Oh my God. See, that right there just be out of hand. That be out of hand. Lemon better be glad that I ain't up in my flagging spirit like I used to be. I ain't in my flagging spirit. After the Billy Goat got, I'm okay. Because if I was in my flagging spree, I'll go over there and flag all that. Go over there and flag all that moaning for sexual and explicit content. Flag. I'll go over there and flag all of that moaning that they doing. Then I heard they was over there masturbating the other night. I'll go over there and flag them for that. That ain't what this is for y'all to be doing that. Yolanda said, oh, before I went to sleep, she was sucking another bottle. The most. Some of these women's trees Bi- Billy Goat like he was a baby. Oh, they treated the Billy Goat? Yeah. Well, they paid for his plane ticket and everything. hmm They pay for his plane ticket, y'all. You know, it gotta be something when nothing really stood out for me this week. Maybe I just wasn't that interested. hmm I don't know. But yeah, either way, y'all. Well, I think I'm done talking to y'all. I done did an hour and 15 minutes, and y'all, I ain't gonna push it because it really has been dry. Please like my video. I had 2 donations today. 2. Thank you, Dr. Soapy, for contributing to my goal. Thank you to Ray Triggs for contributing to my goal. Y'all, my birthday is right around the corner. So I've been trying to get ready for that. Um, which when I say get ready, no, I'm not about to plan a party or nothing like that. Just doing all of my adulting. Y'all know you got to do all this adulting for your birthday. That's one thing that I hate about living here in Georgia. Because in Mississippi, it wasn't like that. Here in Georgia, you got to get like all of your card, the tag, and all this kind of stuff by the time your birthday. You got to get all this stuff renewed for your birthday. Oh, in Mississippi, it wasn't like that. So typically, with me been living here, when it's getting close around this time, and I know my birthday coming up, then that's whenever I got to actually start doing all my stuff and my emissions tests and all of this shit with my car. So that's where my mom been at this week. But either way, I appreciate y'all for joining me this morning. Please like the video. I would set y'all Lynn T. So when I was playing the intro, he came out of his house, went to his water bowl, drunk him some water, and after he finished drinking his water, he went back up in his house and laying down. So he's up, but he is choosing to still be asleep. Since I done been doing this live with y'all, all he did was go out and drink some water and then go back up in there and lay down. So I guess he tired today. This dog act like he work a full-time job. This dog act like he got a social security number. This dog act like that he done been out there standing in front of the Lowe's and the Home Depot trying to look for work this morning, and that's why he's so tired. That's what he act like. And I'm just thinking to myself, you ain't even did nothing. What you tired for? But you gotta let sleeping dogs lie. But either way, y'all, well, I'll holler at y'all later. I will be back. Let me explain to y'all. I will be back on my Dun Dada channel tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Big Brother review. Me and DC. We're gonna talk about Big Brother. All right, Room Shaker. Room Shaker, I knew it was a couple of questions that you was asking me on Shamar's. And girl, to be honest, I forgot what the questions was that you asked me. Which I probably should have had just wrote them down. But Room Shaker, when I was on that link talking to y'all, I was laying down in the process. So I didn't even take a mental note of what all you was asking me. And now this morning I'm drawing a blank. So I forgot what you was even asking me. But if you end up going live later, I'll come over there and see what you got going on. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. Room Shaker, they said for you to go to Mahaya's. They must be looking for you in the Mo 3. But all right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.